great day, great day. It's me. Happy YouTube day. It's been a while. I haven't been consistent, and I apologize. It's just a lot. It's like it's like, relax, Russell. Take your time. We're in the middle of a shift, and this shift is tearing my ass up. But I know it's going to be worth it in the long run. I'm currently dealing with an infection in my arm, and it's just like my body is being attacked. But it's like I'm also dealing with the healing process as well in my mind, and dealing with addressing things that make me or have made me uncomfortable. So yeah, it's kind of where up with a lot of things. So let's talk about something. I had a conversation yesterday, and it was about deliverance. And I feel like it's a conversation that a lot of us have, but we really don't have in depth. Or at least I haven't had one in depth as I'm about to go. And that I went. 1 second. So I'm gonna talk as I'm lotioning up and stuff. I've already put deodorant on before I sat down. But now it's just a lotioning process and the final touches. Apply this oil to my face. So talking about deliverance, and it was so crazy how the conversation went. It was a regular conversation like I usually have with this particular person. And it's just like, it just went it went so deep, and it was so necessary. And I'm glad that I had it, because as I was talking, God was talking through me to me. So the deliverance process, I think people tend to think that, being homosexual and you have to be delivered, you have to ask God to deliver, you have to. But I think people that understand is deliverance is real. Deliverance is a process. And I think that's the thing people tend to forget. They're just like, oh, stay delivered and that's it, that's all. Cool. That's right. Now, here's the thing. I'm learning that the proper deliverance process requires healing. And I say that in a sense to where, I know with me, God is taking me somewhere, but he's also healing me in different areas. Thus, a lot of things resurfacing. And I'm realizing that the resurfacing of these issues, this is my lotion, I love it. Oh my God. The resurfacing of these emotions are to deal with things that I haven't dealt with and that I have to deal with, And it's frustrating. However, I'm becoming grateful because I'm understanding God is healing me from certain areas, or healing me in a lot of areas in my life, so that once I get to where he's taking me, the enemy can't use these particular triggers or these particular things as triggers, these unhealed things as triggers to get me to backslide. And I know backsliding is going to happen no matter what. But God puts us in a place to where I'm not going to take you somewhere I'm not willing to carry you. And I'm not going to send you somewhere that you're not ready for. So I can't send you to the big thing, the popularity, the celebrity status. I can't send you there if you get bent out of shape the first time someone says something that you don't like or about you. Or the first time you don't sell what you're supposed to sell. And I think also I'm holding people accountable in my life, and it's like I think that's the thing. In deliverance, you're dealing with healing eternally. You're healing from childhood areas. You're healing within your family. You're healing it within the way that you handle relationships. Like, I have been single for so long, and I'm learning that things that didn't work out in past situations, I'm grateful, because I feel like if I would have experienced heartache from these particular people, baby, when I tell you I would have been a point of no return, baby, when I tell you I would have hurt somebody or hurt myself, like, that's just what it is. But I'm learning that, God's rejection or delay is not denial. Delay is not denial. I feel like delay is a setup. Delay is a setup so that when it's your time, God has no reason to deny you what's yours. God has no reason to then say, all right, boom, I can't give this to you right now. You're still not ready. No. Like, delays are set up so that God won't have a reason to tell you no. Makes sense? In deliverance, I'm learning that, the healing different areas, you have to heal. especially when you're dealing with things. It's like I'm deliverance can go for sexuality. It can go with sex issues. It can go with, anxiety, depression, suicide ideation. It could go into alcoholism. It could go into drugs. You name it. Deliverance can be anything, and it could be for anything. But it's a process, because I'm learning that in order for healing to take place, you get to the root. The surface just can't be healed. We got to get to the base of the infection, kill the infection, and then heal from the root on outwards. Make sense? A tree is dying on the outside, but it had to die on the inside first. Infections go from the inside outwards. Make sense? So, even though it pierces the outer to get to the inner, to get to what it wants to get to, so it can probably it could execute its plan was to make you sick and take you out. So God takes you in areas. We got to go back here. I want to take you here, but we got to go back there. I want to take you here. I want to bless you with this. I want to give you this, but I have to make sure that once I give it to you, the old you, the unhealed you, that child that's sitting there still immature and upset, does not come and mess up what I've built for you. I was having a conversation, and even our conversation was like, both of us. The thing was, a statement was made, and it was grateful that I was not supporting making a bad decision. And I made the comment. I said, "Baby, you done came too far. We done came too far. We done worked too hard for you to fall back." And I think the thing about it is I think it's kind of how deliverance works, is I'm never going to put this person in a position to set them up to fail, because it's going to be my fault. And I got to tell God I'm sorry. Or I got to explain to God why I gave bad advice when I knew better. So I think everybody makes it seem like deliverance is so easy, but it's a process. It's a long process. It's literally a healing journey. Like, healing and deliverance work hand in hand, and nobody talks about it like that. And I'm learning how important it is to understand. And that's why you got to get to know God for yourself. Because I'd be sitting there talking about stuff and thinking about stuff, and I'd be thinking about God. And then I'd be sitting there like, God, that's what I'm thinking, what I'm talking about. Then God will jump in and say, no, son, that's not how this works. That's not how I do things. This is how I do things. Oh, I get it. Boom, it makes sense. God won't take you somewhere for you to fall. God won't sit there and take you so far in your journey just for you to fall. God won't sit there and say, let me give this to you for you to mess it up. He won't. That's the waste of his time and your time. Because then you got to go through the hell of losing it, and then the fight to try to get it back. And that's stressful. That is stressful. I don't know if any of you know what it's like to lose something and have to fight to get it back. It's a lot. It's a lot. So God sets us up so that when we do get it, we don't lose it. So anybody who's navigating deliverance and whatever it is, or dealing with healing, whatever it is, understand it's not an overnight thing. It takes time. It takes time, and it takes support. And you have to have the right people around you who are willing to not only give accountability, but also give grace and give understanding and give encouragement and share wisdom and offer prayer in moments where you don't have to be in room for them to pray. I think that's important. That's really important. So yeah, and I want to address something when it comes to grace and I think one thing about it is I have this mentality where I know that I am not the only person dealing with shit. I know I'm not the only person that's dealing with life and life's challenges. I made a post on Facebook detailing what life has been like since 2019. And it's like, in the last couple of years, since 2019, I think I've had one clear year. I think I've had one clear year where nothing happened. I'm trying to think. I think. And I think, yeah, one clear year. Maybe two. Yeah, and it's crazy because I really looked back over the time and I was like, damn, like, this is a lot. Like, in the past 6 years, I've lost 3 people. my grandma, my pop, my grandma, my pop, my grandpa, and an aunt. And that's just those. And I'm not even talking about grieving the loss of friendships. And grief is one thing to grieve a person who has passed away, but it is one thing to grieve someone who is still breathing. That shit is torture. That shit is torture. And it's crazy because it's like, I can talk to you, but I can't talk to you. When the person's passed away, I know I can't talk to you. I can want to, but I can't. But when a person's living, it's like, I can talk to you, but I can't. It's hard. And I feel like I've navigated this without cussing two people out. Maybe cuss more than two people out. But I think we have to understand that we're not the only ones that's going through things. And I think I give that. But then when it comes to on the returning end, I hear comments like, well, you don't keep in touch. Sometimes I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Like, I'm gonna be very transparent in this video. I have one living grandparent. And I've always said I am a grandma's baby more so than a mama's boy, because my grandmas, both of them on both sides, have spoiled me with love and attention, and anything I could want, I could get. And it's crazy because I have this one grandma that's left, and it's like I kind of pull away, and I pull away, and I've said this to her before. I pull away because I realize I only have one grandparent left, and it's like I know there's going to be a time. And I don't know if I can handle it. That's just the tea. That's just the tea. Like, when I tell you my first grandma passed away, baby, I am surprised. And a lot of us are surprised. Even my auntie said, the one that passed away, that I didn't lose my shit. And I couldn't, because my mom needed me. And my mom didn't need me losing my shit. So I didn't lose my shit. I kept it together. And it's like, when my papa passed away, it was like, I couldn't lose my shit. Even though I had a lot going on, I'm finally on an up and up with work. I'm a supervisor. I'm doing the damn thing. My grandma passed away. My papa passed away the day before my birthday. Yeah, my grandma passed away right after my birthday. My papa passed away the day before my birthday. So birthday sucks. I found out I was HIV positive on September the 14th. Birthdays suck, you know? But I tend to manage. And I still, even though they suck, I'm still grateful. Because two things won't be true. They suck, but I'm also grateful. But I think people tend to have a hard time grasping, because it's been a roller coaster. But I still pursue and I still push. So give grace. Give grace. And understand that the phone works both ways. And understand that I get it. I got family that's always going through shit. They're growing, they're raising kids, they're navigating new relationships, dealing with divorces, they're dealing with being new grandparents. Everybody's excelling. And sometimes I want to keep my shit to myself because I don't want to steal nobody's moment. So, I'll tell you this. The night my auntie passed away, I went to go check my phone because I was on Do Not Disturb. I went to check my phone, and my best friend had texted me saying that he had an interview for the same magazine that interviewed me, right? And I was so happy for him, but I was hurt because my auntie was lying dead in the next room. And I'm just like, oh. And I took a step back and I said, this is his moment. Don't take the moment away. And I didn't tell him that my auntie passed for 2 days. And eventually he called me and he was like, why aren't you at work? And I was like, yeah, so Shantae passed away. When? She passed away the night that you texted me saying that you got the interview. Well, I didn't say anything. And I said, because I want to steal your moment. And he said, thank you. Because I understand, like, I'm not the only person going through things, and I understand it's like I would never want my shit to bring someone down or for someone to feel like that to stop their celebratory moments just to make sure that I'm okay. Maybe I should start. We'll see. But even with that, I feel like I do got a great support system. You know, I got a great amount of people that I can lean on, that we have fair exchanges. And when I take a time back, they let me take a time back. When I'm sad, they let me be sad. I'm going to be quiet. Let me be quiet. And they don't pressure me or make me feel bad for having a human moment or for feeling like I need to deal with this and my shit. And I don't want to let my shit affect them, you know? So think about that, you know? So, but yeah, this is me going this is another part of my deliverance process. I'm being delivered from the old me, being delivered out of anxiety and depression. And I am learning to speak my truth. And once I speak my truth and I get it off of me, it doesn't torture me, because the truth can torture you. When you're holding the truth in and you know you want to speak it so bad, it could be torture holding that shit in, because it's something that it's kind of like grief. Like Regina King said, grief is a bunch of love that has nowhere to go. Yep, grief is love grief is a lot of love with nowhere to go. So truth is also something that you shouldn't have to hold in. And I'm learning to where delivery is everything. To deliberate and say, hey, this is how I feel. This is my truth. Because I'm always hearing everybody else's truth. But I'm in a place to where at 37, I'm giving everybody the truth. Whether it's my mom, my dad, my grandma, whoever it is, I'm giving my truth. Because I'm always hearing everybody else's truth. So it's my turn. Something to think about. But I love you all. And I will see you all later. Bye.